All right, man. We live, man. What's going on, Aqua?
What's good with you, man?
We got a special appearance in the building, man. So, yo, one of the first things that I would love to talk to you was like, yo, how'd you get into music, man? How'd you get into becoming an artist, bro?
Man, to be honest, man, like I said, bro, music kind of found me in a way, man. I don't even know how to explain it, but it took
Where can you start, man? Where can you start?
Well, it all started back in high school, to be real with you. That's when shit really started clicking. I was working at Taco Bell, and my boy Vaughn, shout out to Vaughn Dutch. Yeah, he doing his thing. My man used to be freestyling all the fucking time in the Taco Bell, bro. And I used to see him. We used to be smoking in the back of the dump truck and shit. And he used to drop me spitting some hard shit. I'm like, damn, bro, that shit fucking hard, bro. So from there, I told him, yo, bro, damn, I want to get into this shit too. So I started writing some songs I would show him, and he would be like, yo, bro, you gotta record this shit.
Right.
And then from there, back in high school, I was with my boy Tay, and there was this group that was already doing music called TDT. Shout out to TDT and them. So they was already had the recording equipment and shit like that.
Right.
So it was a matter of fact, we was all in the same group, so we all got cool. And once then I let them know, they said slide through. I did what I had to do. I recorded my first song, and from there, bro, music just
started clicking after that.
It, bro, it was that, man.
Man, I definitely feel as though it's a scary thing when you're doing something like that, especially like pursuing music, man, being an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna have a lot of naysayers, man, and everybody that's gonna have an opinion on what your sound should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to understand, how were you able to build that confidence in your head to be like, yo, this is me, this is the avenue I'm going down, and this is what's going to get me where I gotta go.
Bro, aside from music, to really build that confidence, to really say fuck the people, you have to go and experience life. The reason I'm so fucking confident in what I do in my craft, and I don't give a fuck what people say, is because I've been through some hard shit, bro. I've been through life. I seen myself at the lowest point. I've been at my highest point. And the fact that I was able to pull myself out there, and the only thing I had was my music and myself, bro. There was no one there for me. So when I was going through them times, it built fucking character. It turned me to a different person, bro. It turned me to a warrior, bro.
And like, yo, for those of you who are listening to this, like, pretty much like what he just said is highly important that you reach that low point, because to me, that's where all the growth happens. When you're on your high horse, you're not really cognizant of what's going on around you. You just happy that everything is going good, and that blissfulness could block out all the stuff that's ready to bring you down at any given moment. And then once you do get down to that point, I feel as though it happens for a reason, and it's up for you to understand why you even got there in the first place, bro, to even build yourself even back up. And it's not a pretty thing, and nobody wants to go fun. Yo, it's not
it's
fun,
not fun
at all, man. And like, it's important that people understand that part of your journey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so even get some more insight on that, bro, man.
Like I said, man, even recently there was times where I was sleeping in my fucking car, bro, and I don't want to even like just go on no sob story type shit, because once I reflected upon everything, I had some part to play in that, man.
Right.
Like me and my family dynamics, and me getting into it with my pops and shit like that. But there was times where I was fucking I was broke as fuck, my nigga. There was times where I was high too, when I had my fucking Dodge Charger. I was whipping around here feeling like the man. So I seen both sides of the shit, bro.
Right.
And I know damn well it's not fun being low, but when you're at your low, that's when you're your truest self. I could truly say that, because it's no more fake shit. You can't try to compensate off with money. You can't compensate with shoes, bitches, all that, whatever. You can't hide that, because it's just you.
Absolutely.
And while I was there, it took me a lot of reflection. I kind of say I found myself. In one of my songs, I quote the lyric. I said, I found myself on the other side. I don't know and don't know why. I found myself on the other side. The other side was me being at the lowest fucking point in my life, bro.
Facts. That's facts, yo. For y'all listening, man, that's the God honest truth, man. Really peep what this man's saying, man. Shit. And like, another thing that I want to talk about as well, man, is just going back to your roots to even begin with, man, and just telling that story of where you came from before you even got into this country. You feel me?
Man, most people don't even know I'm an immigrant. If y'all don't know, I was born in Liberia. That's West Africa. the fact that I even got here was a miracle itself, bro. If you don't know some history in Liberia, there was a civil war in my country for years on end, meaning I basically came up from warfare. My dad was the one, my mom and my dad was struggling through. My mom had to carry me on her back. She even told me this. Miles on end. They call it like a lapa, where they tie. All my Africans, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. It's like a little cloth. She tied me on her back and she traveled miles just for them to even get water, just to even get food, just to stay safe, because it was guerrilla warfare in my country. It was different fractions, different people trying to, because the U.S. was involved, was in control of, like, not in control of Liberia, but they had some type of influence over Liberia.
Right.
Don't quote me on everything, but they had some type of influence. So once the U.S. left, it was total, everyone was trying to seize power. Like, yo, let me tell you, we running this shit now. So it was different faction. So it was a warfare. It was a civil war going on in my country. And at that point, I was a baby, so I didn't know what the fuck going on. So I can't say I lived through war, but I still have dreams. I still remember some shit where it's crazy, bro. I was talking to my mom on the phone, and she's still in LIB by now. I was talking, and I told her about some of the dreams I had where there was gunshots. I heard was hiding under the table. I remember it was my auntie, and my auntie, the people had barged in and shit like that. I don't know how I remember this shit. It's so crazy, bro. They had barged in and shit like that, but my auntie was hiding me and shit like that. And I told my mom that story. She said, "How did you know that? Like, you were a baby." So it's crazy. So I guess
it's weird, man. I don't know where I read this from, but I seen that, like, our memories and stuff that we go through, it's always, we never forget. It goes into a part of our mind that, I don't know if it's the subconscious mind. I don't know for sure.
It gotta be. Your brain is so powerful.
It's so powerful, man.
So powerful.
And it's just like, we don't even know how to use it to, you know what I mean? Not even half of its capacity. Not even 25% of its capacity, man.
Exactly. But let me get back on. So I was basically came from that warfare, and I didn't experience the poverty firsthand and everything, but I basically grew up around that surrounding, which helped influence how I take my life right now, in the direction I take my life. So my dad had got into the States through he was sent for, one of his people had sent for him, and when he applied, he got through, and then he went through the army. So the army had made it easier for him to send for me. So I came here around the age, I want to say 3 or 4, about that when I came over here. So I was still young as hell. But during the times back in Africa, I still remember some shit where
like it ain't go away, man.
Yeah. I was a pretty smart kid. My mom said I picked up on shit fast, so I seen some of the things happen. I just couldn't process it because I'm a fucking baby. I don't know what the fuck going on, and shit like that.
Yeah, for real.
So from there, bro, that's how I really came over here. And
was it a culture shock when you first got over here? Do you remember that at all?
I was young, so at the point I'm kind of a sponge now, so everything is still new to me. You feel me? So you could have taught me anything. At that point, I'm just adapting to whichever environment I was born in. So I already had my own culture and roots within me. It was not a culture shock. I did have an accent when I originally came here, and I do remember that now. I did have an accent. It was a culture shock a little bit. Yeah. I remember some stories, bro. I remember some stories, bro. My cousin would be in the room. They would call me. They're like, "Yo, what's good, my dog?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Why you calling me dog for?"
I'm not a dog.
I'm not, bro. I used to go. I don't know if you remember these classes called ESL or something like that. It's like an English,
a reading class,
like a learning class to really.
When I went to school like in Newark for like my elementary years, and we used to call those classes, I believe it was SFA.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing. They call it ESL. I went to Garfield East, and I remember I had to take them classes to basically kind of catch up with the other kids. I wasn't slow or nothing, but my English and reading and stuff like that, I still had to catch up to that too. Basically to
catch up to what the standards was
exactly. So if you call that culture shock in a way, but I picked on fast after that. That's why you wouldn't even you just think I'm a regular nigga now. You wouldn't even think about it. Shit.
Yo, but nah, that's real though. So with the upcoming music that you got coming out now, man, would you like to talk about that, man?
Of course. Well, I just released my EP. It's called The End of Summer. That was a 5-song EP, and it was just previewing.
Yo, download that joint. I'm telling you, it's fire, yo. It's fire. I'm telling you, yo. It's a good listen, yo.
You won't be disappointed. It's a vibe for everyone.
Yo, I got it downloaded on my Spotify. So if you're looking to check it out, go on Spotify, man. Go on Spotify.
Just look up Aqua NJ. But
it's tough.
Excuse me. But the new music I'm working on was this is my project. I've been working over this for over a year now, and I've been teasing the folks. Originally, I was gonna debut with that. It's called Demons and Angels, and then I have another project that I'm working on as well. It's called Seven Deadly Sins. So those are the two main, like, I guess you could say, major releases that I'm working on. And with Demons and Angels, that is really gonna take my sound in a new direction. For the people who haven't heard me, it's probably gonna be the first introduction. But the people who have already heard my music, they're gonna know that we're going out the fucking box on this one.
Man, from listening to some of your unreleased music not too long ago, man, it's just like the vibes that you go for. It's not typical of what a artist would go for. In essence, your versatility, you know what I mean, to doing pop music and being a rapper, touching in rock music as well, like the whole entire nine. Like, that's another thing that I wanted to ask you about, is just like, how do you manage to be comfortable with, honestly, like, as crazy as it sound, with being you? Because I know what, like, a little, like, the up and coming artists now, that's like a hard thing for them, man. So how do you get comfortable with that?
Well, it's easy for me because my music is literally just a reflection of me. So I got different sides of me. I got my goofy side. I got my fucking, when I'm on some angry shit, some hard shit.
Right.
I got different side of me. And the music is literally, you're just seeing a different side of Aqua, bro. When I'm at my happier time, I can make a pop track. When I'm at my lowest time, I could go into that rock shit. When I'm in my reflection time, I could go on some lyrical shit, bro. It's just me literally just reflecting myself, bro. Just fucking trying to dive deep and literally hear the different sides of me in reality. Because music is my therapy. And it sounds so selfish. I don't make music for the fans. That's why I don't care. I don't make music for the fans. I make music for myself. It's literally my own therapy. Because when I'm listening to my tracks, for example, one of the unreleased, Sober Up, I had played you. It's me literally seeing them hard times when I was struggling with fucking drug abuse, when I was struggling with fucking liquor, getting drunk almost every fucking day and shit like that. And I'm listening to myself like, damn, this is where the fuck I was. And I'm hearing it brings back that same emotion and pain. So I don't make music for other people. So that's why I don't really worry about the opinion of other. But now that I see more people are tuning in, I'm taking that into accountability and stuff. So I'm not completely unaware of what people want to hear and everything. I'm not gonna give them a full rock track yet because they're not gonna be ready for that. I'm gonna give them some time. You feel me?
Yeah, like we was even talking about, like, earlier, even with me, just saying, like, you know what I mean, people should be spoon fed, and you can't just throw everything at somebody, the whole kitchen sink at once. Because with that being said, I'm really big on people understanding each other. And the only way for me that I know right now is to get that done is just that people have to understand a little bit of a person at a time and not the whole entire thing. Because that could scare somebody, man. Yeah. The rawness, you know what I mean?
We're work in progress. So
yeah,
you're absolutely right. Some people cannot comprehend the whole, because to be real, you don't even know what you are fully yet.
Yeah, still, man. I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
So imagine here just trying to show everybody everything. Some people find that uncomfortable. Some people reside with it like, yo, he's open. And me, I guess I found like a midpoint where I'm myself, but at the same time, bro, I'm still human, bro. There's times when I still feel uncomfortable. There's times when I still wonder, like, damn, what do they think about this? So it's not
human
like,
nature, man,
bro. Yeah, I ain't perfect, but still, I still show my flaws and everything. I think that's what makes me stand out, because everybody else is afraid to really show their fucking flaws and shit. Everyone wants to look cool, especially on social media and shit.
Why do you think that is?
It's an ego thing, to be honest.
Yo, oh my God, man. It's another thing, man. I talked about this on my website. Dad, I'm starting to notice that. I'm starting to say that pretty much every episode. But yo, it was something where I talked about, like, the ego versus the truth. You know what I mean? And most people much rather serve their ego than to serving what their truth is, man. Because you serve your ego, man. The ego could gash your head up and to make you think that you're something you're not, man.
Trust me, I've been there with that ego shit, and it's a double-edged sword.
Absolutely,
it's a double-edged sword. The thing about your ego is honestly just a reflex. It's a false persona of what you think you are, bro. You see, people already built this set traits, personality, habits that they do over a lifetime. So your brain wires that shit into way thinking like, this is how I am. and that's what you would call your ego. Don't take that as fact. That's how my
that's
how I interpret it. And with that ego, once we put such a stigma on trying to like focus on this is who I am, trying to play that role that you designed for yourself, you kind of trap yourself in a box where you're trying to look cool for people. Now you're trying to buy the newest fucking J's to impress bitches that don't even fucking, they ain't gonna hit you back, nigga. No disrespect for all the niggas out there, but
yeah, man, y'all wasting your money, man.
Shit, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the truth, though.
It's crazy, and social media honestly just amplified at times too. Now we just see it every fucking day.
Yeah, man, like, I remember I was just talking to you yesterday about just like the paradigm shift that we got going on right now, man. And that's why I'm a big proponent of like your music and the way you do your music, because you're going in a different lane, but you're also switching the sound up of what the typical sound is right now. You know what I mean? And people don't understand how much music influences people's behavior. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Music is one of the most powerful tools out there, man.
Absolutely.
Bro, why you thinking, bro? It's crazy because there's suburban white kids out here that would listen to fucking Chief Keef. And, bro, these motherfuckers are probably, bro, on some real shit. Music influence your mood, bro. What would the world be without music, man? Shit would be a fucking... But anyway, bro, music is so much powerful because it connects to a whole different form of energy, man. I'm a huge believer in the energy and stuff like that. So, whatever, that's why I'm very careful about some of the songs. There were some songs I didn't put out on purpose, bro. You know, I didn't even fuck with Fuck 12 when you listen to Fuck 12, bro.
Yo, that's my song, man.
It was so raw. It was so... I'm like, damn, bro. It was like...
Hey, mom, yeah, you heard that? You know what I'm saying? That's a good song. Like, I apologize, but that don't go hard. That don't go hard.
Yo, there's certain songs I don't even like that I release. I'm like, damn, bro. I hope nobody is trying to do some wild shit. Like, a nigga could shoot out somebody on this song. Like,
I can't put the vibes out.
And shit like that. So I'm very conscious. I'm getting more conscious of that, of how music really affects people. But that's why that's why I don't just say anything in my fucking lyrics. I'm very precise about what I say because I know people are really listening. And there's young kids out there, bro. I gotta tell you a story, bro. I hope you don't mind and shit like that. But
right ahead.
One of my earliest day ones. This is my boy named Matt, bro. So it was when I was first starting out, man. I had one of my earliest release. Matt struggled with drug abuse. He used to be on the pills and everything, and he was a huge Juice WRLD fan and all that. So he's already in that. I guess my music revolved around that sound. Some people would say, everything. So I had put that track out, bro. This was when I really started taking my music so much more seriously, man. Matt told me that he DM'd me. I could still pull up the DMs. I'll even show you, bro. He said, bro, this track that you released, bro, I was on the verge of almost committing suicide. I was about to just take all these pills. This is no cap. I put it on my mom's, bro, when he had texted me that shit. I even had the archives and everything. So just seeing that one song that I had put up, literally...
Yo, how did that make you feel when you first initially seen that?
It was surreal, my nigga. I'm like, what the fuck? Like... It shows.
It probably hit home.
Hit home. It shows how much more power. You don't gotta be a fucking Drake or a mainstream artist to influence people. There are people listening, bro. If you the rawness, and if you're real, if they could see what you're coming from, bro, it resonate with people. After seeing that, bro, I had an influence in someone literally almost leaving this earth, bro. It put me in a whole nother mindset of how I take my music, and that shit was really one of the stepping stones.
That's powerful, man. Like that's real powerful, man. And honestly, that's the main reason why I'm even doing this, man. Just like that one specific moment, who knows? It's probably happening right now as we speak while we're doing this. And for future reference, with somebody watching this, and they probably was like, "Oh snap!" You know what I mean? And something just clicked with whatever you just said. You know what I mean? Or anything that we're saying. But in regards to music, it's a powerful like way to handle your emotions, especially some of them that you don't even understand. Like, you know what I mean? About like, you know, going through it, heartbreak, love, like the whole nine. Like, you know what I mean? Music can resonate with you in a way where just playing words.
Bro, if you want to get biblical, my fault for cutting you off. If you
want
If you want to get biblical, I don't even be going too much into the Bible. Wasn't fucking Satan the chief angel of what's it called?
Yeah, the music and stuff like that.
He like control over it, basically, and that's how his ego got inflated, thinking like, damn, I got power like God. They listen to my chants. He had the most beautiful music and shit like that. So That shit is real, bro. Why you think the music? If you really the music industry, they be pushing some shit. I ain't even gonna get into that, but
I mean, you can touch it to it in a glimpse, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's me, bro. All I'm gonna say is that's why you hear some certain songs on the radio for a reason. You hear that fucking wop or everything. No disrespect to all the music. I respect the art and everything, but there's some shit that has so much influence, bro. There's little kids out here. There's little girls out here,
right,
that are listening to this shit, man. And bro, it's so crazy.
And that's why I think that, you know, music can be dangerous in that sort of sense. And I say the same thing with not only music, because I believe that music and social media go hand in hand. Like, you know what I mean? Especially with, like, I don't get TikTok, man. I don't think I ever will. But it just seemed like, you know, social media and music combined, bro, and made TikTok, you know what I mean?
Bro, well, the thing with social media is literally just I feel like it's an amplifier for everything else, you feel me?
Yeah.
So if it wasn't already getting as much influence as before, social media just takes it to the next level. And the thing with social media is you're constantly seeing shit that does not need to be amplified. A lot of negative shit you be seeing.
Oh yeah, man.
So when you take that on the musical aspect and people are just saying some bullshit out there, bro, it could fuck with a lot of people, bro. That's why, honestly, I don't mind everybody. Everyone should pursue their craft, but to be real, not everybody is meant for this shit, bro.
That's the God honest truth. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. But the crazy part is, when most people think about with this stuff, the first thing that they do is use their logic and throw numbers out there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like 1 in every billion people become a successful artist and stuff like that. But they don't understand that those numbers is there because of the people mindsets beforehand. That number wasn't already set, and then like a million people came, and then this one person became a star. Another million people came. Shit. It's like, yo, you either got it or you don't. But it's in the sense of how far are you willing to go to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. I don't worry about any of that, because if you know, when you're in tune with yourself, when you know you got it, you got it. No one could tell me fucking different. I could put it on anything. I'm going to blow up. I'm going to be one of the biggest names in music. I'm going to surpass most of the fucking greats, if not all of them. And I could say that. A lot of people not gonna like me for that, but can you hate me for having confidence in myself? The fuck?
You heard it here first. We're going on a quick commercial break. So I still got a couple of questions that I still want to ask you.
Of course, go ahead.
About your music.
Go ahead.
So when you in the process of whatever feelings that you're going through, what's the first thing that start going through your head? Do you pick out certain type of beats, or you just feel a melody or whatever going on first, and then you base your beats off of that?
To be honest, everything first starts with emotions for me. So that's the first stepping stone before I even really getting. That's the same thing when I'm picking my beats. It's a weird process. I can't even really describe how I pick. I'm very picky though with everything. It's like I gotta feel something, and once I feel it, it's like boom, that's it, and then I go off of that.
So is that feeling based off of you feeling like you gotta act on it, or is it deeper than that?
Yes, somewhere like that. It's very impulsive. It's more deeper than that, but it's impulsive feeling. Like I just know when I know. It's like
that's the one. I
thank God I'm blessed with this ear. I know which ones are which. I know which one, what vibe to go with which vibe. I don't like forcing my music.
Yeah.
So when I feel it, I feel it. Some days I might feel it, and some days I might not, and I might come back to it. And other people will be like, "Yo, nigga, this is hot. You're tripping." There were certain songs I wasn't gonna put on the fucking EP, but my process is so weird, bro. I like emotions because I like to keep it as raw as possible, bro. Sometimes I will go off a concept, how I'm feeling in the moment. I'll go off a concept, then I will start building upon that. I was describe the process is so fucking weird. It's like trying to put solve 5 fucking different jigsaw puzzle and piece them together at the same time, because I don't even go in a regular order. I might start on a hook first. I might start on a verse and then jump into a hook.
Yeah.
If I can't find something and fill it in with that, and I just build around there. I just literally just put in different pieces together.
So if you're going through how can I put this, like a writer's block or a music block, what do you do? Like, do you force your way out of that, or you still flow that out too, and just when I get back to my mental state?
When I get writer block, I don't force anything. I leave that shit alone, and I work on a different aspect. Right now, I'm learning how to produce right now, so I haven't been writing like that because I'm focused on more on the technical aspects of creating the actual tracks. So I will go to producing, making beats, or recording. I just got some equipment where I'm recording and stuff like that. But sometimes I even just need to get away. I need to meditate. There's times when I'm in the creative flow where I want to say uninspired, but you know, I like to keep. I believe in quality over quantity. I'm not gonna push, mash it out. I will write just to write. Of course, I gotta work on my craft, but something I would release, I don't force upon it. I let it go. I sit on it, and it's like a spark of genius that hit me. I'll feel mad inspired one day. I'm like, fuck, I want to start writing, and then boom, I could write fucking 10 songs.
Yeah,
or I could write 5 songs. I could go weeks without writing, but when it hits, it hits.
Yo, I oftentimes like to compare what people, the service that they providing or whatever it is that they making or anything. Like, I'm big on them treating it as if it's a kid, you know what I mean, and nurturing it. And like, you know what I mean, like, for example, what you just said, how you're not gonna force yourself to finish a song, finish a beat, finish music. You're gonna make sure you in the right, you know what I'm saying, space and energy in order to get it done, because you know that's going to be your best song rather than you just putting out anything.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, nurturing, you hit the nail point. Music is like my fucking baby, bro. My producers be getting mad at me, engineers sometimes, bro. I'm the nigga, I will do 50 fucking takes of the one bar just to get it right, even if it's off a little bit. They hate me, but hey, they get it.
Come with it. You know what I'm saying? They come with it, yo.
Listen, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm a real perfectionist with my music, and it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it fucks up my creative process by trying to get certain right, but I know what I want. I know in my head how I want it to sound, and I'm gonna get it how I need it to sound, bro. I don't like just settle. I used to settle, but now I said, fuck that, bro. This is my shit, and I'm taking more control over that. As my confidence grew, I start taking more control over that. So, yeah, I take music very seriously when I'm in the booth, when I'm recording, like, from everything. I like experimenting, too. Yeah.
So when you in that process of experimenting with, like, your different type of sounds, it's all based on how you feel is like the right thing to do at that moment.
Yes.
Is that for the most part?
Yeah, it's all feel based, man. I wrote one of my best songs off the one. Sometimes I would just freestyle on that bitch, bro. Just go in there. I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna write nothing. Let me just freestyle, and we'll do bar from bar where I'm just freestyling and just going off. And from there, my producer will give me some ideas. He's like, yo, fuck with it this way. I'm like, oh, word? All right, let me do it this way. Blah, blah, blah. And then from there, I start building upon that. I'm like, damn, this is fucking saucy. Let's do this. And then, woof, when we in the, it's like, you ever heard like the flow state? So
yo, you already know I'm big on the flow state, man.
Man,
like, yo, so let's get into it, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
like, yo, so if you was to describe the flow state to somebody that had no clue what that is,
Gotcha.
what would you say? What would you tell them?
So the flow state is basically when you're in the zone, as they will call it.
Yeah.
It's almost like you got superhuman focus where, let's say you're working on something that you particularly enjoy. For example, I'm in the booth and I'm here working on a track, bro. Let's say I've been working on it for like 30 minutes straight and I got no other distractions and everything. The flow state kicks in at a certain point when you're so focused on something where at that point, time, everything around you
moves
just
slow,
disappears. You're in the zone.
Yeah.
Hours could go by and it will feel like minutes and you wouldn't even notice because you're so involved with what you're doing. You're just flowing. And that flow state is literally, man.
Yo, so I believe I read the book called Flow. I'm pretty sure that's what the book is called. But and it's another book that I read. It was talking about deliberate practice and how you set out a certain amount of time focusing on a task until you get it done. And if you keep building it up, it's a part of the 10,000 hours rule that, you know, you put 10,000 hours into a craft, you essentially become a master at that craft. But what I seen in that book, they said with like the flow state is where like your challenges meet comfortability, like hand in hand in the middle. So something is extremely challenging, but you're comfortable in it, where to the point where you can't be in flow state is something that's too easy and you're able to go through it. But you also not in flow state is something that's too difficult that to the point.
It's a medium.
Yeah.
I could use a perfect example. When I recently just started learning how to make beats. At first, bro, that shit was challenging, but it wasn't too challenging where I didn't know anything what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was the perfect medium where I'm literally putting instruments together and trying to get it. It's annoying because I have the shit in my head that I want to get it to, but I don't know how to get it to that point. So I'm here trying to figure this shit out. So sometimes I would leave that shit alone. I wouldn't touch it, but the flow state is literally just harnessing, trying to get into that. And with working upon something every day, bro, to be honest, I have a problem with like really writing shit down and getting to it. It's kind of the thing where I just do it. It's automatic. I still fuck around and shit like that, but my goal is I gotta improve at least 1% every day, then not do nothing at all. So even if I work, let's say if I just freestyle for 30 minutes or so, at least I'm doing something to harder to improve my craft rather than doing nothing. But I gotta work on writing shit down and really doing that. I'm starting to build a morning routine now where
and do you have a set routine when you do make music, or nah, you just catch the vibes?
I catch the vibe, and sometimes I do have a routine as more structuring when I'm making the songs, because sometimes I will it really to be honest, it depends how I'm feeling, to be real with you. I can't even give you a set blueprint on how my process works, because I don't even know how the fuck my mind works sometimes and shit like that. I'm all over the place. So I will write some hard shit. I'm like, damn, because I got this app called BandLab on my phone. Shout out to BandLab. It's fucking great if you're an artist and shit like that. So what I do is basically I'll plug the beat in and I will start recording. It's almost like a voice memo where I'm just playing with what I need to play with until I actually get in the booth and test it out. So from there, I will freestyle anything and I'll go off the flow from the freestyle and start writing shit down. That's been my recent process now for actually making. I'll record it on my phone first with the BandLab, and then I will actually go in the studio and write the actual thing down. And then sometimes I don't even finish the whole songs. Sometimes I finish it until I get to the studio. I'll just freestyle the rest. Oh
man, like that's crazy. You got to be in a different type of mental space to be able to do that, man. To be able to freestyle, man, and throw. Artist, man. It comes with it, man. It got to be you, man. It has to be you. Now, for the people, especially like the younger kids, and that's trying to pursue music, if you was to give them any sort of advice, like what would it be?
My best advice for any young person trying to pursue music, the best thing I could say is stick to your roots. Be yourself. Don't try to sound like everybody else. Be an individual. Because I noticed that once you try to be like everyone else and you're trying to copy that sound because it's what's hot right now, you make yourself more generic. You're honestly putting yourself more in a box. So I believe huge in individuality. So if you're making music, man, be yourself, man. Literally harness, show yourself. If somebody didn't know you and the only thing they have to know of you is from your music, give them the best representation. That's my best advice.
That was real, man. That's respect right there, man. I feel as though with like a lot of kids now, man, their sound is highly influential of other people's music, which in essence I think that's a good thing, but that's also a bad thing, because of course all inspiration comes from you know,
of course.
Yeah, somebody that you seen that you want to emulate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Twisted. Like when I first started out, bro, shit, I fucked with Kanye. The 808 Heartbreaks fucking had a huge influence on my sound too. I used to listen to Paramore, bro. To be real with you, I didn't even listen to rap music before. When I first came to this country, my cousins, all they used to play, well, one of my cousins, all he used to play was fucking rock music and everything. So that nigga really helped me.
Yeah, expand your sound.
Expand my sound, because I wasn't listening to rap music. I was listening to Paramore. I was listening to fucking Nirvana. All this rock shit. Regular niggas do not listen to it, shit like that. So when I really got into rap music and everything, it really just, I had a natural affinity for that. But I was listening to rock first and pop. That nigga used to play fucking Taylor Swift. It was so annoying because I shared a room with the nigga, bro. So I couldn't go to sleep. This nigga's playing fucking Taylor Swift. He's playing. So
you had to hear that joint.
All that shit, radioactive, all different type of music. I'm like, oh my god. And it's to the point where I started fucking with it. I'm like, damn, you know, this is not actually that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. This don't actually go hard. From there, so shout out to him, man. That nigga Steven, I can't even cap, bro. That nigga used to be annoying, but shit. So
yo, man, shout out to Steve, man. You made Aqua, man. You made the ball Aqua, man.
Shit, he influenced influence. Don't give him too much credit, man. That nigga, he was a dickhead, but nah, he changed though. But yeah, but
but that's what's up, man.
Yeah, you gotta have when you're first starting out. You definitely gotta have people you gotta look up to give you the blueprint.
Yeah,
and then the next part is literally expanding on your own sound. So you could use them as the stepping stone, but I wouldn't try to completely emulate what they're doing. I would just use it as a navigation. Like
example, like what you just said, like that blueprint. That's a really really big word. Like I don't know, like in regards to me with basketball, I talked about this on one of my previous podcasts. How Kobe Bryant was that person for me that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been playing basketball to begin with. But he pretty much gave me the blueprint of how to find my own success and pretty much his work ethic and everything, the whole nine. I admired that so much, and I wanted to be that person where it's just like, yo, that dude worked hard. Like he genuinely works hard for what he want, and the best way to do that for me was to find something that I genuinely enjoy, and that was basketball. So you already know with music, people look at it and like, yo, you spend so much time working hard and all of this, but I know for a fact you don't look at that as like hard work. You know what I mean?
This shit is literally, it's therapy for me. I love making music. I love the process of recording. I love performing and everything, man. So it's not work. I mean, if it's something that's destined for you, that's how you know if you was meant for this shit, bro. If you feel like it's work, making a song and everything, it's probably not for you, or but everything when you're first starting out is not going to be easy, but once you get a good grasp of it, it gets easier. To be honest with you, when I first started out, my first few songs was already fucking sounded pretty decent compared to where I'm at right now. Obviously, it's a huge difference. But my second song I ever made was called Doomsday, bro, and that was when one of my most popular songs back then when I dropped on SoundCloud. It had like 7,000 plays to this day right now.
Oh, yeah,
bro. People still hit me up, yo, Doomsday. I'm still bumping that shit. Some people still think that's one of my best songs and shit like that. And that was like my second song I ever dropped. So I already knew like, yo, this shit was. It felt natural for me. I feel like everyone got a God-given gift.
They do.
And when you find it, the world is yours, man.
And like even like for me, for example, it was just like weird. It was a rocky one for me. Like most of the kids around my age, like they was already in the midst of like playing basketball. Like I didn't play my first game with referees until I was 16. At this point, everybody started when they was like 8 or 9. You know what I mean? But I'm only going around the corner playing 3-on-3s with my friends and stuff like that, thinking that, yo, I'm about to be one and done straight out of college, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the mindset I had until my first game under the whistle with referees. I'll never forget this. I'm telling my brother, like, yo, I'm about to have like 25, 5 assists, you know what I'm saying? A couple of blocks. Yeah. Man, I'll leave that game with 2 points. And he was telling me, like, yo, ain't none of that's going to happen. I'm telling you this right now. So I'm like, yo, you being a hater, dog. You being a hater. I leave out of there with that 2 points. I said, I was like, yikes. But the biggest thing that I learned from that little one season that I played, I wanted to score 10 points, double digits in a game so bad. So bad. And I didn't score that first season. I think I did. I had 10 points like the very last season, but it was all from cherry picking.
Bro, can I give you an example of what you just said, bro? That just reminded me of, bro, because sometimes
let me hear it, man.
Where I fuck up, where I'm thinking that I got it like that, bro. There was one time I had a show, bro, and my ass thinking, it was one of my first few shows ever. I'm like, man, I got this shit in the bag, man. I'm fucking Aqua.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm that nigga. I went up there, I was sipping. Never again would I sip and smoke before and shit, especially for a song that I really don't got all the lyrics down and shit like that, bro. So I went and performed, bro. And I ain't gonna say the name specifically of where it was at, but some of y'all know who be throwing the most lit fucking shows up in Camden. Y'all know who, bro. But bro, fuck it. I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to Shek and Khalil, man, bro.
One time I was shout out to y'all, man.
So niggas know I ain't capping, bro. And shit, there was one time I was up there, bro. It was in that when they had the house performances still, bro. So it was my time. They had it in line. My bro already went and performed. I was up next, bro. And keep in mind, niggas was pouring me up. Like, yo, you wanna go? I'm like, oh yeah, let me get a little wavy. Let me get a little saucy, bro. So I'm already fucking lit and shit like that. I went up there, bro. First, the niggas started. I always had good crowd control. This is where it was a fucking double fucking. It fucked me up.
Double-edged sword.
So I brought the crowd because the way, if y'all don't know, when you first starting out, bro, the crowds is not gonna be that receptive to you, bro. For any artists out there, don't expect niggas to be like tuning the fucking. Nah, you gotta
Because do you feel an energy when you first come out that they real critical at first?
Oh yeah, they're fucking especially Negroes. You know how Negroes are. You know how niggas are.
Yo, loosen up out there, man.
You know how niggas are. Niggas is looking at you. They already fucking like, all right, niggas not even looking at you, bro. The people are on their phones and everything.
So they not giving you the time of day once you get out there,
bro. Unless you already got your clout solidified, people are not giving you the time of the day. So you gotta get their fucking attention. So I got that stage person. I'm like, yo, how y'all doing? I interact with them. I already speak with them. I'm like, yo, I'm like, make some noise. Get them to start talking. I'm like, shit, if you thank God that you woke up today, make some fucking noise. I'm here getting them speaking. Like, yeah.
So you gotta, when you first go out on stage, you gotta actively get them involved first.
That's my process. Some people don't do it. Some people like jumping straight in, but now I get them involved to make sure that they fucking with this shit.
Yeah. So you try to get their energy up to yours.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I got the energy up. So I remember, what song was I performing? It was an old song. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about playing this song, bro. But it was one of a banger. I knew this shit would go crazy in the party, so it was called Tokyo Drift. No, was it Tokyo Drift? It was Tokyo Drift and Fuck 12 that I was performing, bro. And bro, I think I performed Tokyo Drift first, man. That shit was one of the most embarrassing shit that happened to me.
So
bro.
what was the initial vibe that you was getting from the crowd when
the initial vibe was I was going? I remember I had my lyrics going and everything. There was a certain point where keep in mind I'm drunk and fried at this point too and shit like that, where I just forgot. I'm like, what the fuck? I forgot my lyrics, so I'm here trying to play this shit off, bro. I'm here trying to play it off, and like, I'm trying to dance, but niggas was already looking at me and shit like that. I'm like, oh fuck. So I already seen, bro, that shit was it was bad bitches there. It was, oh my god, it was so embarrassing. It was so cringe, bro. I couldn't even, my boy had recorded a video. I couldn't even watch that video. It took me like 2 weeks, a month. It took me a month before even watching half of the video because I was cringing so fucking bad, bro, of how horrible I fucking did. It wasn't.
When was the last time you actually seen that video?
Bro, I deleted it.
It's like that showing no more.
I deleted that shit.
No more.
I deleted that shit, bro. But the shit was so bad. Like, they didn't boo me off stage, but you could tell the response wasn't there. Like, my boy always trying. He was like, "Make some noise for my boy Aqua." Niggas like, I'm like, bro, that shit was so embarrassing. I think I dipped right after that. I dipped after the show. I didn't even want to stay.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I dipped. I got the fuck out of there right after that, bro.
Yeah, good thing, man.
Yeah, but that was a very humbling experience.
It sounds like it. You know what I'm saying?
Better now than a bigger stage, right?
Yeah, for real. Because you got to think, bro. In most situations, in a situation that you go in, if somebody actually was to actually like do that, and they've been putting their heart and soul in what they was doing, yo, I'm not even going to lie. 9 times out of 10, most people was going to be like, y'all ain't doing that again.
Bro, it's not easy going up there performing for people. Don't get it wrong.
It seems like a very, very vulnerable moment.
It's very vulnerable because you're giving them the ability to fucking. They're the one to decide if they fucking with you or not. The power is in their hand. It's not easy going up there, bro. That's why I respect anybody just putting yourself in the forefront, like what you're doing right now. Putting yourself in front of fucking camera, bro. That's just not easy, bro. Niggas think it's easy to speak how you feel, bro.
It's really
to be
not.
Judged. It's not easy. So think twice before you start hating on motherfuckers who are doing what they got to do. But nah, man.
That's real, man. That's real. I think that, like, literally what you just said, people need to start challenging themselves and put themselves in situations more and more like that. Because with that being said, y'all would start to understand yourselves way more and the next person. If y'all put yourselves in situations that's uncomfortable straight up, like doing this, it ain't easy. Well, I'm happy I got him, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this has been a whole vibe. Be cool, but it's very important for me that people learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I've been preaching that like whole thing. You know what I mean?
Got to, bro. I didn't even want to perform, bro. I had because I'm always challenging myself, bro.
Yeah.
I literally, my boy was like, "Yo, you performing upstage?" I'm like, fuck, I don't want to perform. I don't even really do my lyrics and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that much even heads out there like that. I'm like, what the fuck? But I gotta realize this is all learning. This is all learning experience. So I literally put myself in uncomfortable situations to grow. So I forced myself to get out in that bitch, and it was worth it. I'm definitely glad I did it.
Yeah, because I know for a fact through that situation alone, if the food for thought for those who listen to that story is what he said he learned from that, and that's ultimately humility. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it put me.
Yo, for real. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna perform for months after that. Now before a show, best believe I'm saying my lyrics 200. I don't care if I already know this song or everything. I'm saying my shit over and over again. I'm doing moves now. I'm getting comfortable. I'm in the mirror doing crowd interaction, all that shit, like visualizing as I'm actually out there and shit. How
big is visualizing?
Oh man, visualizing is everything.
What made you get into visualization, man?
Bro, I already told you from the jump, I'm already in tune with the energy of how shit flow, bro. I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. Like, I've been reading certain books. I've always been an avid reader, like Think and Grow Rich. That's one of my favorite. I'm actually rereading it right now. Definitely check that out. So visualization was always a key point in manifesting what you want to achieve. And so there was time I would wake up in the morning, bro, where I'm just playing. Even in the summer EP, I put it to my ear, I close my eyes, and now I'm getting so good. I always had a fucking crazy imagination and creativity. Yeah. So it wasn't easy.
You need to have that.
I'm a huge daydreamer. I'm the nigga that was in class, bro. I don't know. I'm here drawing or doodling.
I was the same dude too, man. Making straight comic books instead of taking notes, man.
Exactly. I'm here daydreaming. So that shit was already part of my natural. I'm the nigga that be thinking about false scenarios. I'm getting niggas try to fight me. I'm here fucking beating 20 niggas up at the same time. I got a shorty with me. I'm doing Jet Li, Bruce Lee kicks. I be imagining all that shit, bro. So visualization is literally normal for me. So now that I learned that way, the shit I've already been doing, I could utilize this to get anything I want and manifest it. Oh, hell yeah, let me test this out.
Yo, you know what I think, like, a majority of people problem is with that kind of stuff is, which I try to debunk them on that. You know, when you hear people say, like, the law of attraction is BS, like, all of that stuff. The only reason why they like, yo, you can't just think of something and it's going to mysteriously pop up. Does not. You got to go out there and do what you need to do.
Well, they haven't put in the work for them to see. I seen the law of attraction work. And bro, the very fact that we're standing here, by the fact most people with the way we're talking, they would think we know each other, bro.
Yo.
Tell them how we even met, bro. Like, tell them how we met, bro.
Yo, crazy story for you guys. So I met this dude at Planet Fitness. I work at Planet Fitness. So randomly, he was coming in to work out beforehand, and I kid y'all not, when he used to come in, there's the only thing I get his skin in, and he'd be like, he's walking. So after a while, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, all right, like for some odd reason, we just started talking like, yo, what's up? That's it. Randomly. This dude crazy. He's crazy. Randomly. He randomly comes in. I believe this was on a Sunday or a Monday. He randomly comes in and was like, yo, like, I need to use your phone. Like, and I'm like,
I forgot. Did I say that for real?
Yeah, you came in.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, like you straight? You know why? Yeah, you know why. So this crazy dude ain't have his keys to his car, his phone, or his wallet, and he just came back from Puerto Rico. And while he was there, he didn't have it as well.
Oh shit!
It's hitting him. He's remembering.
Oh yeah,
he's remembering.
I fucking remember now, man.
So we sitting there. And he's telling me the whole nine and everything. And I'm like, yo, this fool about to have a crazy night. Like, what in the world? And get this. So he needed his car, what's his face, his keys to get in his car. He had work the next day. So he's sitting there. Yeah. So he's sitting there like, yo, I got to figure mad stuff out. So we sitting there rapping. So eventually I don't ever really give nobody a ride home. Like, ever. I don't trust people like that. But I'm like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, he a cool dude. Like, I got him. So I never forget. We was rapping for so long. I have this paper.
I remember the 10 years, the 5
year, the someday goal, the like right now goal, yeah.
I remember that.
So later on in one of the next episodes, I'm gonna show y'all exactly what that is. But you started writing that down and stuff like that, and then that moment right there. But it's he has a crazy story. And that Puerto Rico story, like, this man got back home with no plane ticket back, no phone, no wallet. Yo, tell him the story, man. Like, tell him the story. That's a crazy one, man.
Bro, before I even tell this, I gotta give a disclaimer. This is some real life shit, bro. If y'all wanna look, y'all could hit me up on Instagram and everything. I'll show you the archives, bro.
Yo,
so basically, he had called me after one of my many movie scenes in my life and shit like that. So for those of y'all who don't know, bro, I was stranded in Puerto Rico with no phone, no money, nothing, bro. And I had to make my way back to the States.
Bruh.
Oh my gosh. So this is what happened, bro. So originally I got invited out to the trip by my cousin out there. And keep in mind, this cousin is one who's already done some fugazi shit in the past to me. But me, the optimistic version, I'm like, all right, why not?
Yeah, Puerto Rico the vibe.
Puerto Rico, I'm going there for the trip, bro. I don't care about that nigga if he's on some weird shit or anything. So, bro, we scheduled the trip, bro. You know, everything going according to plan, bro. He said, yeah, I'm gonna bring 2 females with me and everything. I'm like, cool, that's on you. I ain't worried about that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So, long story short, we come up there. We in Puerto Rico. I'm gonna skip some of the parts. I'm gonna just try to keep it as
general as possible.
General as possible. But we in Puerto Rico now. We with the shorties and everything. Wasn't what I was expecting. But that's another story. No disrespect to them. So everything, I should have seen some of the red flags that's coming up, bro. So when we finally out in Puerto Rico, there's a lot of shit that wasn't adding up with my cousin. First of all, he told me he was straight on bread. You see, I put enough money for myself.
Right.
Thinking that, you know, you got yourself, we gonna be good.
Right.
Bro, as soon as we already out there, we went out to eat one of the first days and everything. So we was at this little bar sipping and everything. This nigga gonna come to me and whisper me. He whispered in my ear like, hey, yo, bro. Yo, you got me for the meal? I'm like, nigga, what? Like, I thought you was good.
Yeah, like for real.
Like that. So I'm like, fuck, bro. I had no choice now. The female's right there. I'm like, all right, bro. So I spot this nigga some bread. So that was already red flag number 1. So later on, we headed to the beach, and this is what happened, bro. My nut ass had left my phone in my fucking shorts. So when I went out in the water, I didn't realize I had my phone in the shorts. Boom, my phone gets fucked up. So now I'm in Puerto Rico with no phone now, and my shit's fucked up. And no, rice does not work. Putting that shit in fucking rice. So whoever said that shit is fucking cap. So now I got no phone out there, bro. So I'm already a little off edge. So I'm like, cool. I was using his little iPad and shit like that. So it was in the middle. I think we went to the club. We went to a club after that too.
Yeah.
It was before the beach. We went to the club too, and it was my first time in a strip club, bro. I fell in love with a stripper, man.
That right there is a no-go. You don't do that. You don't do that.
That was my first time in the strip club, bro. So there was a little John named Jinx and shit. I'm just briefing y'all up so y'all know exactly.
Yeah. You got him. You gotta set the vibes,
set
man.
the vibes and everything. So I met the little John named Jinx, and I'm here blowing my money, stupid.
Yeah,
So I'm here. I'm like,
you must have looked at her dead in her eyes.
Oh man, bro,
she robbed you blind.
She robbed me. It wasn't even just it was the drinks, everything. I was going out, bro, and I'm here wilding, bro. So I'm out there in Puerto Rico. I was still 20 at the time. I'm 21 now. So I'm here just buying drinks, going crazy and shit like that. I took a certain amount of money out. They said, yo, this is a certain amount of money for the dance. So I went, got a little private dance from her and shit like that. I'm here having conversation with the bitch while she fucking here stroking on me and shit like that. I'm here having this like, how's your life? You know, go to school. I'm here feeling her fucking titties and shit like that. Can I keep this explicit? My fault.
Listen, man, this is just the truth, man. If y'all don't
Can I
like
keep
it,
this explicit? My fault.
You
I don't
know
know
what
if you
I'm
got
saying?
kids and shit like that. Watch it.
I don't.
All right, shit. I'm gonna keep it as raw as possible. So I'm here grabbing on her ass or whatever. And I'm here talking with the bitch. I'm here. Time already went by now, and I already spent my money on this fucking lap dance and shit like that. I already spent money on drinks, and guess what? My cousin said, yo, bro, can you spot me on this for the hookah? I'm like, nigga, what the fuck, bro? And keep in mind, I had to spot him to get in the club. So now that's red flag number 2 and 3. I should have known. So later on in the night, man, this was like one of our last few days while we was out there. And this dude had the nerve to tell me, yo, bro, you know what? We gonna chill for tonight. Keep in mind, we're in Puerto Rico right now. I already put my money down, and this nigga said, I want to sleep for the night. I'm a young motherfucker. I'm trying to get turned. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck did I come out here for to sleep, nigga? I could have done that in Jersey, nigga.
Yeah. It's like, yo.
So I was not with it, bro. So I said, and we only had we had the one rentals and shit like that. So they had the keys for the rental. So they wasn't letting me. I'm like, all right, if y'all gonna stay in, give me the keys for the rental. I'm gonna go out by myself then and do my thing. But they wasn't with it. I'm like, nah, and shit like that. So I got heated, bro. Me and him got in a huge argument and shit like that. I was about to fuck that nigga up there. So this is what happened, bro. I had two choices: either stay in that environment and me and him potentially fighting, or I had to escalate myself from the environment in a foreign fucking land. So I choose the alternative to like, yo, I'm gonna just get the fuck out of here. So I called a Lyft and went to the nearest bar. It was a rooftop bar. Man, life is crazy. I met a cool ass motherfucker there, bro. He bought me fucking food and shit like that. Was chatting it up. That's how I was chatting up there. The nigga was like, we got
I remember this part of the story too.
Some cool ass nigga I met up there. He said he was traveling and shit like that. Bought me a drink or whatever. It was cool. And he's like, yo, meet me at this party here. Bro, keep in mind, I'm in Puerto Rico right now at some random hotel rooftop bar with some random dude I never met. And I'm just living life now. At that point, I'm here lit. I'm drunk. I forgot about the shit with my cousin. I'm here. I snatched his iPad, by the way. That's how I was getting around. Let's call it a Lyft and shit. So I don't got no phone. All I got is an iPad now and shit like that.
Yeah.
So now, bro, I'm at the rooftop bar. I called a Lyft to this place called La Placita. That was a spot me and my cousin and them had went there the first night, and it was so fucking lit. So now I'm on my own. I went to La Placita. Okay, let me picture La Placita for you. So imagine like you guys you've been to South Street before, right?
Yeah.
So imagine South Street, but it's a big ass tavern, bro. Meaning it's like it's a party everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, isn't it like a whole like pretty much street?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a street, but you got twists, turns. Over there, you got a bar. Over there, across, you got a club. Over there, it's something. It's like a little. You can go in and fuck around with every place and shit like that. It's like bar hopping in a way,
yeah,
and shit like that. So I'm here by myself, just going crazy. So I'm here La Placita, man. I was feeling myself. I'm already lit. And for those of y'all know, I speak a little bit Espanol. Yo hablo español poquito.
Yeah, see, my Spanish is garbage.
So I see
garbage.
I was really feeling myself that night. I see this too. I was having my shit on everything. I seen these two little shorties. I'm still cool with them to this day on Instagram too. It's still crazy, bro. One of them was a model chick. Bad, bro. Every one of them in there was. Oh man, I love Spanish women. Shout out to all my Spanish mummies.
Yo, special shout out to y'all, man.
But everybody was like a 10, bro. So I see these two little Spanish John in the line. I'm like, yo, I was like, ¿Dónde está la línea? Basically, I'm like, yo, where's the line going? Something like that. I don't know what the fuck I said, but they understood me. She's like, oh, right here. So one of them spoke to me. One of them spoke English and Spanish, and the other one just spoke only Spanish. So I was talking to the one that spoke English too the whole night, and we was just talking the whole time. And basically, bro, they started fucking with me. Yo, they had some pool and shit like that. They started like, yo, you should hang out with us. So I'm here chilling with these two badass bitches and shit like that.
Right.
They got me into VIP. They bought me bottles. So we here cooling now, bro. We was in there. I got them drinks too. They got me drinks, bro. We was vibing and shit like that. I even told them the story with me and my cousin and shit like that. They was like, oh my God, did that really happen? I'm like, yeah, man, it's crazy. I know. So I ended up making a vibe with them that night. I ain't do nothing. I was cooling and shit like that. Keep in mind, nigga ain't had his phone. Nothing. That was the last thing in my mind, bro. So as all this is going through, their friends finally came in Spanish. The Spanish Negroes came over there. They started looking at me weird, bro. So I already knew the vibe was off, bro. And they here speaking their own language and I ain't understand. So
right.
I'm not about to stay around and shit like that. I'm like, all right, yo, I'm gonna catch y'all, shit. So, they got my Instagram, whatever, and shit. I dipped off from there, and then I was doing my own thing. From there, I was just fucking getting lit, man. I was going from bar to bar. The world was mine. I'm out there solo, going crazy. Yeah. I'm going bar to bar, fucking getting turned.
So when was that moment that hit you when it was just man. Like, oh no, like,
I'm getting there.
I'm in a crazy situation.
I'm getting there.
All right.
Oh shit.
Nah, we good. We good.
Shit. So I keep in mind, bro. This shit, they didn't hit me until later until I realized, yo, I'm fucked. Because I'm realizing, yo, after I went bar to bar, having my fun and everything, I forgot the address to the Airbnb that we were staying at, to where we were fucking. And I don't have my phone. I only got a fucking iPad with no charger.
So it was just like, it was a ticking time bomb,
thinking, yo, what the fuck? Shit hit me later on, bro. I'm here trying to get in contact with my cousin. No prevail, nothing. So I ended up taking a fucking Lyft ride. I called a Lyft to the nearest motel, bro.
Yeah.
And I had to stay at that motel for the night, man. And that's a whole nother story. I should have knew shit was fucked up when there was a stripper pole in the fucking motel, and I heard somebody fucking in the next room and shit like that. I'm like,
yo, I gotta get out of here, so, man. This is shiesty. This is getting real shiesty.
Bro, so shit was already fucked up, bro. And bro. So now I'm finally panicking. I'm coming into realization, yo, I'm fucked. What the fuck? Yo, I'm in Puerto Rico right now. I don't even got my phone on me, and I just spent most of my bread.
Yeah, so it's just like
shit finally
yikes.
sinking it in. A part of me was screaming and panicking out my mind, bro. Cause there's some, if you don't know, there's still some wild shit that happened. I hear stories of people fucking selling their fucking organs. Like niggas, they wild out here. That shit is real, bro. And the part we were in, it was nice and all, but it was still close to the hood. You feel me?
Yeah.
So shit could still go down. So now I'm low key worried and shit like that. So now I'm in survival mode, bro. I had to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna get back to my cousin.
Yo, describe how time was moving when you was going through all of this.
Oh my god, it felt like a movie, man. That's the best way I could put it. Time, man. I was here. I didn't even know what to feel. I was just in the moment, like just trying to process everything. It felt so
it's
crazy.
just like you was locked in a weird way.
I was locked
where it's
in.
just like a life or death moment.
Exactly, but at the same time, I'm telling myself, don't panic. You gotta figure this shit out, bro. You gotta figure this out, or you're fucked.
yeah, for real,
bro. So long story short, I was like, all right, first thing I need to do, I simplify everything for myself. I'm like, okay, I need some type of communication to get in, because the iPad's about to run low soon. So I needed a phone. So I ended up taking, it was morning time, I ended up taking a taxi all the way to the mall and shit like that. And that's when my first thing, I need to get a phone. I still had a little bit of bread left. I had at least 400 to 500 left. It was basically enough to get what I needed to get. So I was in the mall now and shit like that, trying to process everything, bro. Yeah. And at this point, I'm here looking for a phone. And there was a phone. There was a what was it called? Was it a Best Buy? It was a Best Buy near the mall. Yeah. So I ended up getting one of the prepaid phone and everything. Bam. I put a little bread down. They gave me whatever, everything. Now I got some type of communication to get to call people and shit like that. So I'm in the mall right now and everything, just walking around trying to get in contact with my cousin and everything. Wait, my fault. I didn't get the phone after I left from the mall. I'm still in the mall. Okay. I'm in there. Okay. So I'm here trying to figure out everything. My mind's on pinning. I'm in the Puerto Rico mall right now. No phone, fucked up and everything. So I met some kids. I met some some people around my age. They was playing Dragon Ball Z in the mall and shit like that, bro. So now it's crazy how my mind still processed to want to have fun in fucking stressful situations. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I got next. Hey man, fuck it. I'm already fucked up right now. Might as well play some Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's like, yo, what I got to lose, man?
Yeah, so they here playing Dragon Ball Z. I hop in that bitch, and then from doing that, I got cool with one of the dudes over there, and he spoke English and everything. We got cool, bro. He started fucking with me, like, yo, you're a cool guy and everything, bro. And from there, me and him had got cool, and we basically started, he let me use his phone. He let me use his phone to call my cousin. Yeah. And keep in mind, nobody remember numbers on their top of their head. So I'm especially not now, man. It's over, man. So you know what I had to do, bro? I had to go. I don't know if you heard of Google Contacts. There's this thing called Google Contacts. Basically, I had some numbers that was still saved from Google Contacts. So I pulled up the numbers from Google Contacts, and my cousin, I pulled up her number. I had called everyone, bro. Nobody was picking up. My cousin was the last one.
And I'm pretty sure, like you told me that your cousin worked at the airlines, right? And was able to get you.
She didn't work at the airlines, but she was able to call me, book me a flight.
Oh, all right. She was able to
book me a flight. So I pulled up Google Contacts, bro, for her to give me to help me out. Yeah. Thank God she picked up the phone. It was just by luck, bro. Keep in mind, this is a random nigga number from Puerto Rico. I'm using one of the kids' phone. It's a Puerto Rico number. Most niggas is not picking up unknown number. Yeah, so for she real. Was the only one to pick up. Thank God. And I told her the story. I said, yo, cuz I'm stuck out here. She's like, what? Puerto Rico? What? Like, she's there trying to process. I'm like, please, I understand it sound crazy right now, but I need you to, if you could help me get back home. So she ended up booking me a flight back home. She said, where are you right now? She's like, all right, the flight leaves for the next day. So the flight leaves for one day, so I still have 1 day out there to really figure out. And at this point, I'm running low on bread, bro. So long story short, I had to basically call some connects. I made friends with a taxi driver while I was out there and shit like that. And he was the one that took me to the strip club. He's the one that took me to some other places around and shit like that. Yeah. And then I told him, bro, I don't really got bread like that or anything. So we departed ways after that. But that's how I was getting around a little bit. I got cool with him and shit. Like, it's crazy, bro. Using my mouthpiece, that's what really saved me most of the time, bro. Just getting cool with people. I made friends with the girls. They helped me when I was out there. I made friends with the kid, the dude playing Dragon Ball Z. And bro, I made friends with the taxi driver, so he helped me get around. So long story short, I ended up calling the taxi driver to get me to the motel. I had little bread left, bro. And when I was at the motel, bro, I had one more night to stay just to make it. So while I was while I was sleeping there at the motel, bro, this motherfucker calls on the phone and says, "Yo, your car just ran out. You gotta go." This is in the middle of the fucking night, bro. This nigga said, "I gotta go." Where the fuck am I going? I'm in Puerto Rico at the motel. My flight is for tomorrow. My cousin just booked the flight. So I'm like, how the fuck?
I'd be mad scared,
I was so scared. So I literally had to beg the guy, man. I said, "Yo, please, man, I got nowhere else to go, bro. I promise you." I lied to him. I said, "Yo, my flight is early in the morning, bro. I promise I won't be here for long." He's like, No. I said, "Please, man, it's at 6 a.m. I'm gonna be going right at 6. He was like, no. I kept begging. I kept pushing. He's like, "Oh, okay. You can stay, but in the morning you gotta go." My flight was actually later on, but I lied to him and said it was early.
Yeah. So just to get that nice sleep there, man.
Yeah, so he could, let me stay. So now I'm in there at the night, bro, and I remember I still had a little bit of funds left, bro. And I'm still such a dickhead, bro. This is how my mind works, man. I'm here crazy. I'm here. Imagine in a stressful situation, you still trying to have fun. Now I'm here just chilling in the motel, just reflecting. I'm like, fuck, the battle's not over yet, man. So guess what I did?
You went out.
I went out. I went back to La Placita.
Oh man, this man said this is gonna be my last night in here,
like,
so I'm about to make it.
Because I was talking to my bro. He said, "Hey man, you already got a flight." I was using the prepaid phone and shit like that. He said, "You might as well go." I was like, "All right, fuck it." So I went out, bro. I went out, bro. I was wilding. I had got fried with some random dude, bro. I was wilding out there here. I took an edible with some random, paid an edible for some nigga I don't even know in the streets. I don't know what was going through my head, bro. I was fucking wilding, bro.
So that's what survival do to you, man. You just like, anything goes.
It was a point of I had logicness. There was a point where I was on some real stupid shit. But it was a good balance where I wasn't all the way too stupid.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I ended up going out La Placita, wilding out. I came back to the motel in time and everything. And I did my flight. My flight was for the night. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, when I was out there for La Placita, man, that's when I was really wilding, bro. Bill, I was the life of the party. No cat with you. Every place I went in, I was the life of the party, bro.
They would have never guessed the situation you was actually in.
I'm here dancing, going crazy, dancing with some fine Spanish females, bro. I'm here wilding, bro. They got their Snapchats on, like, hey.
So you sitting here, dog, having a time of your life.
I'm here wilding,
while going through a crisis.
While going through the crisis. At the same time, bro, don't get me wrong. When I was like, they didn't have the plane ticket, anything out. This is when I got a little bit comfortable. I'm like, all right, at least I got a flight back and shit like that. But the other time, I was panicking the fuck. I was freaking the fuck out, bro, and shit like that. No, I was going crazy. But now I had a little bit of leeway. So I ended up going back to the motel, bro. And I ended up calling a taxi to the airplane. Yeah. And then from there, that's when I was able to, what's it called? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the part, bro. When I was this is how I knew I missed my fucking flight, bro. When I was at the mall, when I used the ball phone, I called my cousin. That's what I called first, and he had picked up. And I called him. I'm like, "Yo, bro, where you at, bro?" You know what he told me?
What?
He said,
at the airport.
He said, "Nah, bro, I'm back in the States." I forgot to tell you, and guess what? The nigga left all my clothes back in fucking Puerto Rico.
Oh, I remember that, yo.
My fault. This story.
And it was inside the Airbnb.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I left your clothes there. I was so fucking heated, bro. I'm briefing this story. It's been such a long time, so there's some part that I might miss. There's some part I skip and pull forward, but
it's cool.
That was one of the parts where this nigga is already back in the States, and I'm here heated, bro.
That's crazy,
bro. So I was so mad. Now I'm in the airport now. Fast forward, I'm in the airport now and shit like that. And I finally had some type of leeway and everything. Thank God they let me use because it wasn't an actual ticket. It was like a virtual ticket.
Yeah.
All I had to do was show it. So they let me show it. So I got the flight now. Now I'm here somewhere. The battle's not over yet. Keep in mind, I still got to figure out a way someone's going to pick me up from the Jersey, from the airport, the flight and everything.
Right.
So while I'm there, bro, long story short, I met up with some travelers, some European travelers. They were cool as fuck. I told them the story. We got cool somehow again. I have a good way of making friends in a weird situation, bro. That's one of the gifts I learned when I was reflecting over that trip, bro. I made friends with a lot of people who just wanted to help me out.
Yo, for real, I ended up being one of them, bro. When it was all said and done, yo, yeah, for real, yo.
So I ended up, I told them the story, bro. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, yo, if I see my cousin, I'm gonna fucking kill him, bro. I was so mad, bro, and everything. He's like, no, you should let it go. Karma's gonna come to them. I ain't want to hear that karma shit at the time, man. It's like, yo,
I am karma, yo. yo.
I wanted to kill that nigga, bro. Imagine a nigga just leaving without you. Keep in mind, after a while, I really reflected on it as I grew and mature. I'm like, you know what? I had some part to play in that shit. Maybe I shouldn't have stormed out in the crib with no fucking phone and everything and wilding out like that. But I did what I did at the moment. So I'm on the flight now. It was the most weird ride of my life. I was grateful.
You probably
angry.
was reflecting about what the last like 48 hours was like
God,
for you,
it didn't feel real. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I was angry. I was happy. I was grateful. At all mix of emotions at the same time, and I didn't know what the fuck to feel. A part of me wanted to fuck my cousin up. A part of me wanted to just just let it go, man. Move on with your life, bro. Everything, bro. So I'm here. I finally made it back, bro. In Jersey now I'm on the flight, bro. I ended up using the what's it called, because me and the European were going the same way. They stayed in Jersey too. They had traveled to Europe for their shit or whatever. So I ended up using her phone to DM one of my friends, Safia. Shout out Safia, and she could even vouch on that. She knows the story. Because I'm here trying to Instagram video my friends to fucking come and help me pick me up.
At the airport.
At the airport, bro. Nobody pick up, bro. My boy RJ, I hit him up. He thinking it's because it's a female. I'm using her phone, bro. So he's thinking that it's one of his whatever trying to get. Like I'm like, bro, please, nobody picked up. Safia was the only one that picked up, and she ended up calling a lift from me from the airport while I was there. I thanked them, the European traveler. I'm like, yo, I really appreciate it. It was a little couple and whatever. They helped me out and shit like that. So now I'm off the flight. I'm out there in the lift ride, and I made it back to Safia crib, and then from Safia crib I had called my cousin to come pick me up from there, not my other cousin and shit like that. And so from there he had picked me up, and then when I made it back home, bro. I told her the story. I made it back home, and I was so fucking gone. The first thing I did was I was chilling. I didn't get on his ass or anything. I decided to let it go. Then a part of me was like, nah, I got to see this nigga. By the way, I kept his iPad, so I'm keeping this shit, nigga.
It's mine now.
He's like, yo, where's my iPad? Yeah. I'm like, bro, no, I remember though. This is where I fucked up, because when I was at the mall, I told him, yo, when I get back after he told me he was in the States, he said, when I get back to the States, I'm gonna fuck you up, nigga. I was so mad. I was like, I'm gonna kill you, nigga. And keep in mind, this nigga is older than me, bro, and shit like that. But I always had a bigger bill, so he knew I was gonna fuck him up.
So what, like when you came back to the States, like what type time like was you on? With like just not only that situation, with like just life in general.
Man, it took some time to really let everything sit in, but I was definitely in a way more passive state after everything went by, bro. This was after I pulled up to his crib, and he ended up calling the police on me and everything because
he wouldn't open up the door.
He was too scared to come out. Yeah, you remember, he was too scared to come outside. I'm like, bro, just come out, take this. I'm here trying to lure this nigga out, bro. Then eventually he called the cops on me. They told me to go back to my crib, blah blah blah. They heard the story, like whatever. They don't care. They trying to do their jobs. So I ended up leaving that nigga alone, bro, and just putting him. I deleted his number. Just ended up moving on. I said I would leave it to God, bro. It's whatever. At that point, I didn't even touch him. I seen him. It was funny because we seen each other at church way back, and my dad wanted us to get cool again, and I didn't even look at his way. I said, "What's up?" And kept it pushing, bro. At that point, everything been past. I matured. I grew up, so I put it in my past now, and it's just crazy, bro.
Man, that's respect right there, man.
Yeah, that was a hell of a time though in my life, but it taught me a lot. I still go back on that story. How I even made it back is still crazy, bro.
Yeah, because I know still at this point it's still hard to piece those pieces together to how that happened.
It is, bro. I realized I'm resourceful. I realized that when it's time, I should show one of my truest my charisma, being able to talk to anybody from anywhere and being able to, get cool with them, and not even on some taking advantage time. I was honestly just making friends out there. They helped me out along the road. I realized so much things reflecting on that ride. Like, damn, bro, sometimes I could be a little bit impulsive, hot-headed, my anger. I have to control my anger. And from there, I just made it a mission to want to just grow, bro. So every time I'm really in a situation, I always bring that up. I'm like, yo, nigga, you made it back from Puerto Rico, bro, with no money, no foes. So nothing scares me no more. That's probably one of the scariest. It sounded like I was having fun out there, but nigga, I was scared out of my fucking mind, bro. Don't get it twisted, bro. I was scared. I just had to keep my composure, because what else did I have to do? Most people will go into panic mode, not to lie with you, bro.
Yeah, that's the truth. And the crazy part is, when he first told me this story, a similar situation happened to me when I went overseas to play basketball in Spain. Literally, when I walked through the airport, I left my phone on top of my mom's car, and she went driving off, and I just walked straight in the airport, and I bought a one-way ticket, so it was no coming back. But everything was on my phone. But ultimately, I tell people this story all the time. My mom asked me the most distinct question I ever heard in my life. Like, she asked me, like, you going to stay or you going to go? And she's just looking at me, waiting on my answer. So I just checked up the deuces and I turned around. But at that moment, man, I'm just like, yo, I got to make it all the way to Spain without my phone. And I'm like, yo, I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm panicking. Yeah. But at the same time, just like what happened with you, I told myself that was that moment where I had to trust my gut and go with my intuition no matter what.
That's so real, bro. My fault for cutting you up, but
yeah.
And the whole time I was in Puerto Rico, everything was off intuition and gut feeling. Me even just hanging out with the kids right there playing the game,
right,
talking to the female, it was all intuition, and that shows, bro. When shit hits the fan, when you got no choice, bro, you could prevail out of anything.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, you even told me in the story of Spain. My fault if you was gonna tell it. You said that you couldn't even read one of the signs. There was
a bus,
yeah.
It was like a bus. It was like a bus sign at the airport when I got to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oh snap.
You good. We can take a break in this few if you want.
But it was like a bus sign when I got to Barcelona or whatever. I got to the airport. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. I don't really know Spanish like that. Yeah. But I told myself that just go with the flow. I'm walking in the airport for a couple of hours, and I ended up finding the bus sign, and then I go to the map, and then it shows like where the city had to go to at, and then the city was the very last stop at the bus station. So I'm like, man, thank God, you know what I mean? Because I don't know what I would have done if that wasn't the case. But I was listening to this guy named Terrence McKenna talk, and he was talking about intuition. And the crazy thing, one of the crazy things that he said to me was that intuition don't leave no trail. And I thought about that, and I'm just like, yo, that's actually pretty crazy. And most people try to use patterns and logic to justify making a lot of their decisions. But when it comes to intuition, there is no trail. You gotta you gotta trust it. You know what I mean? And I know, with that being said, with intuition, I know a lot of making music has a lot to do with intuition. You know what I mean? Because you gotta think like, well, I'm not saying like you, but just generally speaking, that it's stuff that goes on to in your head that you don't know where the source of it came from or the inspiration or anything, but it's there. You know what I mean? But you act on it. You act on a feeling. You act on the gut, like emotions that come from that. You know what I mean? And there's no trail for that. No. You know what I mean? So with me, it's just like, where do that stuff come from? You know what I mean?
It all is, bro. I can't even tell you exactly where, because even most of my process is off of intuition. Back on music, it's like, oh my God, I can't even formulate like, yo, it's like a spark of fucking genius or something that would just come like, boom, the light bulb goes on. I'm like,
right,
fuck, I gotta start working on this, and from there it start just building upon that, bro. But I feel like maybe it's some type of energy.
I 100% believe
some type
that
of higher energy that's being transmuted to you. I don't know, but I feel like this universe works in a very mysterious way, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, sometimes it sends you some type of sign that intuition is maybe you're going closer to what you need to do. You feel me?
No, 100%. I personally agree with that. Like, I realize that I work best when I'm intuitive and not really trying to figure out a logical way to go about something, because I have a problem with thinking between the two, like using my logic and my intuition for things. But I've started realizing I get better results when I use my intuition. But what the problem is, once I use my intuition to get my answers, due to the fact that it's no trail of the intuition, it makes me feel like, yo, what am I doing? Do I really even know what I'm doing? Until you gotta literally get to the end of that road to know, like, oh snap, I did know what I was doing.
Yo, for real, let me ask you, like, do you think it was intuition for a motherfucker to one day think, hey, yo, let me put some metal together and try to build something that could fly in the fucking sky. Who fucking thinks of that, bro? Who sits there and think, yo, let me put some electricity in a light bulb and try to like, bro, call that intuition or everything, bro? I feel like intuition is the start of every creation, every genius, because there's no trail for it. It's because it's never been done before.
Absolutely, yo, and that's why. You know what I mean?
Shit.
And pretty much with what I'm doing with Purpose Served is pretty much what you just said. How to really get people to follow their intuition, because I feel as though for me personally, and even with what you're doing, our intuition has a lot to do with what we're doing. If you want to be that person to be, I don't know, be the first to do something, it's going to be scary. You're going to be walk down that road alone, but at the same time, you're building a blueprint and you're being a trailblazer for so many other people that's going to follow behind you and look at you as an inspiration. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm encouraging you, man. Like, you got to keep doing what you're doing, man.
I love, bro. I appreciate you for real. Just what you're doing with Purpose Served too. It really out. That's why I had no problem coming out here. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it because
that's what's up.
My whole brand, Aqua. If you don't know, the reason I even picked that name Aqua was like, I believe in freedom, individuality. Like water, that's the most free thing I can feel.
Yo,
like,
for real,
going with the flow. You feel me? So I'm all of my whole brand is about freedom and literally not being put into a box. And someone chasing a purpose is one of the highest form of freedom, because you're literally not conforming to society and saying, fuck that, I'm gonna go my own way. So Purpose Served, man, I'm all for it, bro, for real.
Nah, yo, I appreciate it, man. Much love, man.
For real, bro.
Yo, tell the people how they can reach out to you, man.
Man, you guys can find me on social media. If you want to find me on Instagram, I go by aqua.nj. That's aqua, AQUA.NJ. And then my Spotify is Aqua NJ as well. You can do the same thing on YouTube is Aqua Music. Shoot, maybe you could put a link in the bio. You know,
most definitely, man.
Yeah. Shit.
But man, this is a great episode, man. Yet again, man, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Much love for the people out there. Serve your purpose, man. Aqua for sure doing his, man. We out.
We out, yeah.
We out.